Hello, welcome back to the Padded Room. I'm Wayne, and this is Talking Tech with Wayne, the show dedicated to discussing smartphones, smart homes, and all those things in between. This show is a promise of information freely given to all that seek it, and that is a pact between me and all of you. Log on to our website and click the Join the Discussion button. There you can check out my past shows or click the Schedule a Call button if you're interested in exploring how to bring a Talking Tech discussion group to your church or community center. The website address is above my head along with the number to our helpline, where trained technicians are ready to answer your questions 24/7, and best of all, it's 100% free. Today, I will talk about PCs. Although the vast array of features and controls may seem quite daunting, I will walk through some of them to put you more at ease. We will cover navigation and the workings of the user interface, along with the how and why to complete some basic tasks. Whether you're new to computers or have been using them for a while, there will be something here that will help you become more comfortable with your tech in general, and Windows in particular. PC is short for personal computers and commonplace in every workplace and many homes today. They are small computers that are intended to be used by an individual user and are sometimes referred to as workstations. Personal computers can range widely in size and portability. While many workplaces use desktop PCs, laptop and notebook PCs are also common as they allow you to carry your computer with you wherever you go. A point of distinction that continues to this day is that a personal computer usually refers to a computer that is running Microsoft Windows. If it uses Apple OS, then it's typically referred to as a Mac. While today both are very similar in architecture and operation, this was not always the case, and people still tend to categorize computers as either a PC or a Mac. Hardware is the term used to refer to the various parts that make up a personal computer. This hardware is what the operating system and its applications use to run. A typical PC consists of a computer case, power supply, motherboard, which houses a processor, RAM, and graphics card, as well as a hard drive on which data is stored. While optical disk drives, CDs, DVDs, or Blu-rays are still around, they are slowly being phased out as internet speeds increase, online storage becomes more common, and flash-based thumb drives increase in size. Also considered as hardware are any external devices that can be attached to a computer through various connectors. For example, most personal computers have a monitor, keyboard, and mouse directly attached to them. In the case of a laptop computer, these devices are built directly into the computer's case. OS, short for operating system, runs on your personal computer's hardware and provides a user interface that you can interact with on the computer itself and run application software. Additionally, an operating system manages your computer resources, memory, processing power, networking, etc., so that you can utilize them much more easily than would be otherwise possible. There are several different operating systems that are available, including Microsoft Windows, Apple OS, Linux, Solaris, and FreeBSD. In today's business environment, you will typically find that Microsoft Windows is by far the most commonly used operating system. This is followed distantly by Apple OS and Linux. Other operating systems are used for more specialized purposes. It is important to note that Microsoft Windows branding includes several different versions of the same operating system. On this show, we'll be using Windows 10, and even though you might run into Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista, and even Windows XP, the topics discussed today will be applicable. However, as Windows 10 was designed to replace all of those versions, older versions of Windows will become less common. In an upcoming episode, I will explain why using a computer running on an older version of Windows may be putting you and your data at risk. Also, at the time of this production, Microsoft has just released a new version which is called Windows 11, which will become more frequently seen in the coming years. As with older versions, most of the topics I cover today will apply there as well. If there are requests to cover some other systems, make them known in our Facebook group discussion boards, and I may include them on an upcoming show. Log on to our site and click the Join the Discussion button to have your voice heard. While the operating system provides you with an interface to interact with your computer and its resources, application software is provided to help you complete a specific task. For example, word processing software such as Microsoft Word exists to help you compose, edit, or view documents. Occasionally, software may be bundled and sold as suites, which include several individual applications that will typically work with one another. Microsoft Office, for example, is a productivity suite that includes programs to help you compose documents, presentations, spreadsheets, and much, much more. So, let's get to it. Just like when you start the ignition of your car, a computer needs a few moments to start up completely. When you first turn on the computer, it will automatically enter the boot process. This process is handled by your computer's BIOS, basically sans basic input and output systems. This is specialized software that is stored on your computer's motherboard and is separate from the operating system. It is used to control basic computer functions like hardware configuration and the boot process. This boot process will begin by first checking that there are no problems with your computer's hardware. If any errors are found, you will typically hear a beep followed by an error message displayed on your screen. If no errors are found, as is almost always the case, the boot process will continue. The BIOS will continue on and hand over the boot process to the operating system, which in this case is Windows 10. This stage is represented by a loading screen which will eventually give way to the lock screen. The speed of the boot process depends on the hardware that your computer uses. In some cases, your computer might be so fast that you'll barely notice the boot process at all, but it still happens in the background. Once your computer has completed the boot process, you will be greeted by the lock screen. This screen will display some basic information about your computer when it's not in use. It consists of a background picture, as well as some basic information such as date and time, network information, app status, updates, and more. To continue logging into your computer and move past the lock screen, click anywhere on the screen or press any key on your keyboard. This will cause the lock screen to give way to reveal the login screen. Let's explore it a little. On the bottom right, there are three icons. Starting from the left, the first one is the network connection symbol. Note that this one is a wired connection and that it is connected. Yours may vary slightly. Next to it is the Ease of Access button, which will display the Ease of Access menu. This is a good time to talk about the tech industry efforts to help those with disabilities or even those that need a little help to use this and other tech devices. Looking at the advances that adaptive tech has made is a great topic for a show. Drop me a post on my Facebook group if that's something you would like me to do. This menu includes several controls that you can use to adjust various accessibility options before you even sign in. For example, you can change the screen contrast, adjust the magnification, display an on-screen keyboard, enable the narrator feature, and much, much more. The next one will open the shutdown options menu. Clicking this button will provide you with options to shut down the computer, restart it, or put it in sleep mode to conserve power without having to turn it off completely. On the bottom left is the list of users that have accounts on this computer. Selecting one and providing the password will grant you entry into the computer. To help protect the contents of your Windows account, you will typically need to enter a password in order to sign in. You can do this by typing it into the password text box and pressing enter or clicking the accompanying arrow button. Once you have logged into Windows 10, you will be greeted with the desktop. This is where you will do most of your work in Windows. Before we go on, let's talk about some of the rules of the road. On PCs and other devices that do not have a touchscreen, the main methods of navigation are keyboard and mouse. Both have been a part of computing since the 80s, so many of us are familiar with both, but let's review. The keyboard is pretty straightforward. Pressing a key will cause the corresponding character to appear on the screen. Easy peasy. The mouse is also a breeze, right? Done deal. But not so fast. Let's take a little closer look. All mice have at least two buttons, a left and a right, along with a scroll wheel. And that arrow on the screen is called a cursor. Most of us know that clicking the left button will make stuff happen. Generally speaking, a single left click selects an object and a double click will open or run it. However, there lies another world of options just waiting for you, literally a click lengths away. Sorry, I just couldn't resist. I'm talking about the right mouse button. Using the right mouse button will bring up a menu called a context menu. It's called that because it will change according to where you place the cursor, which gives it the context part of its name. And the menu part comes from it being, well, a menu. For example, right-clicking on an icon will bring up a different menu than right-clicking on a vacant spot on the desktop. Each menu will offer only options appropriate to the situation. If you're trying to interact with an object in Windows but can't find the option that you're looking for, there's a good chance it could be found in the context menu. We'll have more on that later. Now that you looked at the tools to navigate, let's explore the landscape. When an app icon is double-clicked on your computer, it opens into a window. The frame separates it from other frames and the operating system using a window, hence the name, Windows. For example, if you open WordPad, which is a basic word processing program that comes already installed on Windows, you will see that it appears in its own window on your desktop. This system allows you to run multiple applications at the same time without getting them confused. Additionally, it provides some separation between the operating system and the software that runs on it. Drawing your attention to the upper right-hand corner of the window, you will see the control buttons. The one that looks like a minus sign minimizes the window, which takes it off of the desktop without closing it. The one in the middle is a toggle, which means that when the window is one way, clicking the button changes it to the other. In this case, the toggle is between the maximized and restored down versions. In its maximized state, it takes up the entire desktop, and when it's restored down, it allows you to move it around. Both of these buttons will allow you to manage the space of your desktop and allow you to interact with the contents of this and other windows. The last one with the X closes the window. The Windows desktop is designed to be used just as you would your real-world desk, and just like those areas, your productivity is directly linked to your ability to organize and navigate that space. Windows provides many ways to personalize and arrange your folders, files, and icons. The recycle bin is an icon located in the upper left-hand corner by default. Default means how any setting presents itself unless you change it. So in this case, the recycle bin will be at the top left unless you move it or remove it completely. Any files that are going to be erased from your computer are stored there until the bin is emptied. If there are deleted files in the recycle bin, the bin will appear full as you see here. This is what it appears like when it's empty. The taskbar is located along the bottom of your screen and incorporates the Start button, search fields, and notification area. Between the search field and the notification area, all open or pinned programs and folders are displayed. By default, the taskbar includes pinned icons for your browser, File Explorer, and the Windows Store. While working with Windows, you will encounter a dialog box. I want to revisit a concept I first advanced in an earlier episode about entering into a conversation with your device. As they say, it takes two to tango, and what works for the forbidden dance is also true of the art of conversation. Your end of the dialogue is delivered through keystrokes and mouse clicks. The contribution your computer will make will most frequently come in the form of a dialog box. These are graphical pop-ups that are used to provide you with information about a task that you are about to do or want to do, as well as prompt you for a response. For example, if you choose to permanently delete a folder, a dialog box will be displayed that asks you to confirm this action. In this case, clicking Yes will delete the folder, while clicking No will cancel the action and close the dialog box. However, you may run into a dialog box that not only includes a single OK button, or buttons that complete unique actions. Clicking the Close button in the upper right-hand corner of a dialog box has the same effect as clicking No or Cancel. If you do not see this button available, you must choose one of the buttons on the dialog box to continue. There are a number of different desktop icons that you might run across as you work with Windows. In this example, you can see 4 icons. As you already know, the recycle bin is a storage area for files and folders that are ready to be deleted. There's also a folder called New Folder that may contain subfolders and data. You can tell this sometimes because the icon of the folder in Windows may change to reflect its content. For example, if this was a folder on your desktop with some pictures inside, you may see small thumbnail images of some of those pictures poking out of the folder. The Notes icon is a file that was created in Notepad, a very basic text editor, and saved on the desktop. Finally, the last icon is a shortcut that's used to open Microsoft WordPad, a very simple word processor that is included with Windows. Shortcuts are direct links to files, folders, or applications. You can tell that this is a shortcut by the small arrow in the bottom corner of the icon. Here you can see the contents of the new folder displayed in File Explorer after it was double-clicked. As stated earlier, you can also right-click an icon to see contextual options based on that particular item. For example, when you right-click a file icon, you will see options to cut it, copy it, rename it, and much more. Icons can be moved one at a time around the desktop by clicking, dragging, and then releasing the icon at the desired location. Additionally, you can move files in and out of folders using this method. To move multiple icons all at once as a group, first click and drag a box around the icons in question to select them. You will see a blue area outlining them where you have dragged. This means that the items are selected. Below, you can see that 2 desktop icons are selected. Upon releasing your mouse button, any icons within the selection area will now be selected. Now, whatever action you choose will be applied to the group, such as moving, copying, cutting, or deleting. There are other ways to do multiple selections of objects, but this is the most intuitive. Let's explore the Start menu. It is the primary gateway to everything your computer has to offer. All installed programs can be accessed here. You can also view different locations on your computer, access your computer's settings, and more. To view the Start menu, click the Start button in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Alternately, you can open the Start menu by pressing the Windows key on your keyboard. In addition to displaying the Start menu, the Start button provides you with a quick access to many Windows tools and settings. To view these options, right-click the Start menu button. In addition to a variety of tools and utilities, you can also find options to sign out of your account and shut down your computer. The right side of the Start menu is populated with tile groups. These tiles act just like shortcuts on the desktop, and that clicking on them will open an associated app or software application. In the top left-hand corner of the Start menu, you will see your username and profile picture. Clicking on this item will provide you with options to change account settings, lock your account, and sign out of it entirely. On the lower left-hand corner of the Start menu, you will see a list of core commands. Clicking on the File Explorer entry will display File Explorer on your desktop. If you click the small arrow that's adjacent to this entry, you will see a jump list that includes pinned and frequently accessed locations. Clicking the Settings button will display the Settings window. Clicking the Power button will provide you with options to temporarily suspend your computer by putting it into sleep, restarting it, or shutting it down entirely. Clicking the All Apps listing will turn the entire left side of the Start menu into an alphabetical list that displays every app and desktop application that has been installed on your computer. Finally, while it's not part of the Start menu per se, it is important to note that the search field on the taskbar will automatically become active when the Start menu is displayed. This means that if the Start menu is displayed, anything you typed will automatically be entered into the search field. This system allows you to quickly find and open applications by typing their name and then pressing the Enter key without having to navigate through the entire Start menu. Now that we have toward the PC, go out there and explore. While these Talking Tech episodes are informative, the magic happens when you take your tech out for a spin. Be bold and take some chances. And remember that we are always a click or a phone call away should you ever need us. Just think of us as the road service on the information superhighway if you ever run out of gas or catch a flat. Well, I see that's all the time I have for today. It has been my pleasure to be here today, and I look forward to the next time we can do it again. I wish you all a farewell.